So to get started, the first thing I do is I disinfect every surface that I'm going to be using. So, you know, I read somewhere that lucky bamboo is very susceptible to infection or disease or whatever causes it to go yellow and be not so good. So I disinfect and then rinse with water. And then again, you don't want to get open bamboo, if that makes any sense, wet. So you need to make sure the knife and everything is like completely dry. So that's how that's done. And then again, the same with the cutting board. Now I don't know which one's which. Yeah, like that. Like this. You want it to be really clean. And then you give that a second to dry. So while that's happening, light your candle. I guess that's in a bad spot. This is to seal up the top because, again, after you cut it, that open part, if you get it wet, from what I've learned anyway, from doing it myself, if it gets wet by any means, for any reason, it dies slowly. So I'm really careful to make sure, again, completely dry, completely dry. I want to talk to you a little bit about Super Green. It's a, I don't know, I buy it on the internet. It's a fertilizer I use for my bamboo. Works really well. Especially with new cuts. I just, I don't follow the directions because it says to put this whole thing in something, and that's way too much. I just put a couple drops in. Yeah. Doesn't really make any sense. And then it says repeat every 7 to 14 days, so I don't do that either for mine. But I know there was a point where I was really frustrated because my bamboo wasn't growing fast enough for me, and bought some of that online, and it works great, and it's like pretty cheap too. So anyway, now this is pretty dry. I'm not going to touch it with my hands. And pick the piece I want to propagate, which is going to be this one. So I'll do that. And pick where I want to propagate it. So like there-ish. And then again, so I'm not taking any grossness from, you know, when the blade cuts down and through, you'll drag stuff on the outside of the bamboo, so I clean the stock like that. And then pretty much you're looking at doing, trying to get it in one quick hit, which is hard to do. Oh yeah, and from my research, some people say before the nod, after the nod. I'm just middle of the nod. Who cares, really? Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. But okay, so that's how that's done. Now, when you do that, if you don't have a large enough surface, one of these will go flying off. And if it's this one, and this new fresh part touches something, this stalk is most likely going to die. It's this part right here that when you get wet, it will rot on you, and that's why I seal it with the wax, or everybody seals it with wax. But so you just want to be really careful. This part goes like this. Done. So that's easy. But yeah, you just make sure you have enough of wax burning, and I don't think I have enough yet. But this is how she's done. So I let it cool. And then I go in for a second one, because why not? And I find that you want to make sure you're sealing over the edge. And then, like so. And for this, I literally give it a shake. And go like that. And that is enough. It works fine. That way I can use this whole bottle to feed all of my bamboo, which I have like hundreds of stalks. But that's how she's done.